Let's talk about one of the biggest, weirdest paradoxes of modern life. You might be making more money than you ever thought possible, but somehow you feel more broke than ever. The thing is, this isn't just you, it's a system, and frankly, it's a trap.
Does this sound familiar? You get a pay raise, you feel that little moment of relief, and then nothing really changes. The financial stress, it's still there. Your bank account is just kind of treading water. If that's you, you're absolutely not alone. Let's dig into exactly why this happens. This is what we call the salary trap. And listen, it's not about being bad with money. Not at all. It's an actual system, and it's designed to turn your hard-earned income into obligations before it ever has a chance to become wealth. It keeps you on a hamster wheel, working harder and harder just to maintain a lifestyle, not to build actual freedom.
So if we're going to escape this trap, we have to understand how it works. And it all starts with this really powerful illusion, one that makes you feel rich while you're actually stuck in place.
Okay, let's use a real-world number. Let's say you earn 85 grand a year. After taxes, this is what hits your bank account every 2 weeks. Looks like a pretty solid amount, right? Well, the system is designed to make sure you never really see it as a whole for very long.
And this is how it happens. It's called the fragmentation effect. See, your money doesn't just leave in one big chunk. It gets chipped away piece by piece. First, bam, rent is automatically gone. Then, whoosh, the car payment. Then, food and bills. Because the money leaves in all these small, separate fragments, your brain never fully registers the total amount you're actually losing.
And the result? After all those invisible payments sneak out, you're left with $48 for 2 whole weeks. That is not a foundation for building wealth. That's just a financial tightrope walk until your next payday.
And this right here, this is the core psychological trick. You've got the nice apartment, the reliable car, all the subscriptions. You have the comforts of a successful life, but these are lifestyle things, not financial assets. The system gives you just enough to feel comfortable, to stop you from asking the dangerous questions, like why you're not actually building any real wealth.
So now let's look at how this comfortable lifestyle becomes something a lot more restrictive, how it becomes a comfortable prison with walls that are slowly closing in.
This is the system's most powerful weapon, and it's called lifestyle inflation. You get a big raise, say 20 grand, and what happens almost immediately? You're tempted with a nicer apartment, a fancier car, your expenses just magically rise to meet your new income. And just like that, the raise is gone. Poof! Your financial stress level stays exactly the same. And get this, the salary trap has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you earned. A CEO making $500,000 but with a $450,000 lifestyle, they're just as trapped as an entry-level employee. The only number that truly matters is this freedom gap, the space between what you earn and what you spend. The system is designed to shrink that gap for every single one of us.
And this system is brutally effective. I mean, ask yourself this. If you lost your job tomorrow, how long could you actually survive? For over 60% of professionals, the answer is less than 1 month. That means they are constantly one single paycheck away from a crisis. That is not security. Those are golden handcuffs.
Which brings us to a fundamental misunderstanding we have to clear up. Society teaches us that a high income equals wealth. But it doesn't. They're totally different things. Income is temporary. It stops the second you stop working. Wealth is permanent. It's what you keep, the assets that work for you while you sleep. The trap wants you to chase income. But freedom demands that you build wealth.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, we understand how the trap works, but just seeing it isn't enough, right? So here's the good news. This isn't a law of physics. It's just a system, and any system can be dismantled once you know the rules of the game. So let's get to it, the escape plan. This is how you start breaking the chains, how you regain control, and how you turn your income into a tool for freedom, not just a tool for survival.
This right here is the single most important mindset shift you have to make. The trap wants you focused on earning more. The escape plan is all about keeping more. Your new goal is to intercept your income before the system can get its hands on it. Look, most people live with a tiny little gap between their income and their expenses. The key to freedom is to intentionally, deliberately widen that gap by controlling your expenses. Every single time you get a raise, you don't upgrade your lifestyle. You widen the gap. And what do you do with this new gap? You redirect it. You turn it into an economic engine by buying assets. Things like real estate, index funds, a business, new skills, things that generate wealth over time. You stop buying liabilities that drain your money, and you start acquiring assets that work for you.
So your first mission, should you choose to accept it, is to build a buffer. Use that gap to save 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. This is your first real step out of the prison, and I promise you, achieving it changes everything psychologically. Because this fund, it's not just money. It's something way more valuable. It's optionality. It's the power to say no. It's the freedom to walk away from a toxic job, to negotiate from a position of real strength, or to take a calculated risk on yourself. You are no longer trapped because you no longer desperately need that next paycheck.
So, in the end, it really comes down to this choice. A salary isn't good or bad. It's just a powerful tool. Right now, the system is probably using that tool against you. But once you see the game for what it is, you can start to play it differently. You can use your salary to build freedom, not to finance a prison. The choice is yours.